Lil ICP is back in the atmosphere, folks, and we're going to talk about their newest album, The Marvelous Missing Link. So, this album came out this past summer. It's actually their second album, and I don't mention this a lot, but I think it's one of the Joker cards. Now, I'm going to eventually start making topics about this and figure out some of the, because these albums have a concept and they have things that have backgrounds to them, which is a little bit different from like Lil Wayne's The Carter. That one just had the album name. There's no, you know, extra stuff to it, but ICP has always done that, and they've been doing it since I think the 90s. And it's going to be an extra thing on this channel, but I will say I looked up a little information earlier, and they said that the lost half of it was the dark side, the darker side, and the searching for something side, and the found side was where they got the answer as to what they wanted. I'm not saying that they were searching for something, but they were just confused. And so, as I've seen with this album, it's not like The Great Malenko, and it's not, it doesn't have, the production sounds a lot more closer to this group being commercial almost. And obviously they've come a long way, but it just felt really strange having a bunch of songs that felt as if they should be on the radio, and I don't know really what to make of it. I'm sure a lot of you guys are, some of you may like this more than others, but it is not as much horrorcore this time as it is just a kind of strange album. So, but with that said, we'll talk about more that this album has to offer, so you can smoke to this, even though it feels as if maybe we're trying to change that image a bit. So I think Get Clowned, Pineapple Pizza, I Fucked a Cop, these are some good ones. And even the very first song, Found, I mean, that one, if you listen to it, is not, they're telling you that they've seen a difference, but still has pretty good production. So yeah, but the production, I did not like a ton of it. There's 13 songs on here, and a lot of them feel like something you would have heard on a pop record. That's kind of the difference, and just didn't fit them. I'm gonna let you know right off the bat. I mean, I understand you don't want to be typecast, but there's really nothing wrong with, because it just feels like those guys, ICP were the ones that kind of were masters of the sound that they did, and for them to get bored or grow or evolve from it is just kind of disappointing. It is, just because that was something that they were so good at. You think it's like someone who plays football wanting to do something more when that's what they're really good at, and that's going to disappoint anyone. So I just wasn't, this has just enough hits on here to not be tacky, but it's still not as efficient as what we needed from them this year. But I guess, there's still the Lost album, which has the dark stuff on there, and I'm going to attempt listening to that as well. But the unheard songs, these are the ones I recommend you listen to that you may not have heard. So Get Clowned, I like 4 of them. Get Clowned, Lost at the Carnival, Pineapple Pizza, and I Fucked a Cop. There are 2 almost songs, The Midway and Found, which, I mean, I'm kind of wondering if they're throwing subliminals as if they're saying this life is not something that we want. I don't know if that's the case. It may not be. I didn't really listen to this record entirely, but I do, if whatever the case may be, I'm not sure if they're endorsing it as much as they were. That's something I think I can safely say, and it's curious. So, but those are the two Almost songs, and right. So I don't really recommend this release, but you should still take a look at some of these songs. So I'm gonna give this album, because I like 4 out of 13 plus the two Almost songs, I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 10. So 4 out of 13 is, we needed 6, so maybe I should give it a 3.5. I'll give it a 4 out of 10, and just keep that in mind. The Future, this is their latest album, but there's also the Lost album that came out this year, so that's coming. And the Social Score, I'll give it a 5.5 social, because they're getting to the point where it's just climbing. It's like Tech Nine. These guys are starting to get more and more fame, and they always had it, but it just feels like their production has increased, from Bizarre, and they've got more prowess than they did before. So, it's good, but it's really kind of almost clean, I want to say. But, alright, so can it be topped? The answer is yes. So, look out for the Jekyll Brothers, some of Bizarre. That one's harder to recommend, but still classic stuff from them. And Great Milenko. But alright, subscribe for more fun. I give this album a 4 and a 5.5 social.